Hi, Tom. Hello, empty chair. morning. Sorry for the rocking back and forth with the phone. How are you? Good. So, I wanted to run something past you, an idea. Um, you know, Mike and I have been doing agenda meeting. Otherwise, he has been handling the co-chair thing. And so some of the things that he's done are, as co-chair, he does he schedules things.
Muted. Hey, Greg, I can, it looks like your video's muted.
Morning.
It's almost routine getting the stream set up, but I looked to see if I could find my notes from last time, and I know I have notes, but I couldn't find them. So obviously I have to come up with a better tag or something. But yeah, I remember. It's a bad design in Zoom. In other words, there's multiple ways to get confused, but I'll tell you the happy case is you just, even though you don't really want to schedule the meeting, you really have to schedule the meeting if you're going to do the streaming perfectly. So you can schedule it 5 minutes into the future, and then you go in there and there's nothing in there about streaming, but you save it. And then you go back in and edit it, and sure enough, all of a sudden it says, "Oh, do you want to stream this?" It's like, why wouldn't they give you that in the, it doesn't give you confidence. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, out of the corner of your eye, you see you have this new option.
Mm-hmm.
You saved it once, so you have to save it and then go back in. And I mean, I don't understand any logic for that, but it is what it is.
Yep.
And then, no, I'll say the only other confusing thing is that there's global settings for streaming. So you're thinking, oh, well, I can just set up defaults, right? And to some degree, that's true, except that there is something that changes absolutely every time, and that is the YouTube URL.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah, that was loud. But your voice is perfect. I mean, yeah, I'm frustrated. I bought some $40 headphones, and they don't hurt my ears. But the microphone that I bought to go with them, I got severely criticized. They said I was loud enough, but my sound was really fuzzy or something. I don't know. So I'm in a agenda that was the agenda that says GMGP agenda 1-21, and it's on the drive, GMGP-main. Are we in agreement?
That's where it should be, yes. And I'm trying to get there too.
Right. Then I would feel better if I saw another person in there. So the recording of the meeting is a redundancy. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, we can hear you, by the way. Troubleshot his microphone issue.
Good morning, Tom.
Morning.
Okay, good. Success. That's what I wanted to do, is make sure that I could. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm probably going to be pretty silent on this meeting, but I just wanted to make sure if I did need to say something that I can be heard.
Yeah, did you turn the volume up on the mic?
Let me check here.
No, actually, you don't have to. It's just fine. It's just fine.
No, I don't see anything wrong. Okay, good. We're all up.
Because just for Mike's benefit, we spent like a half an hour troubleshooting audio issues for Jeff and Zoom, and I won't explain.
All right.
So what I started to say is that in theory, we don't really have to record because we're recording YouTube already, but I don't think it hurts to turn on the recording at 10:30 for Zoom.
Correct. Yeah, we certainly don't need this part.
Right.
Morning, everyone.
Morning. Hey, Greg.
There it is.
So, Mike, just before the meeting, can you hear me?
Hi, Greg.
Do you have time for a quick question?
I think so.
Okay. Are you going to, just so that we don't waste a lot of time on nominations that people are not going to accept, I did talk to quite a few people this morning that could be possibilities for nomination for co-chair. And of course, nobody was willing to accept that nomination. And what did you tell me about that? I'm pretty sure I know what you told me about it, but
I haven't heard from anybody who wants to run either.
okay. And how about you? Are you willing to accept nomination?
No.
Okay.
I really
told me, but I just wanted to make sure. So I think I'm going to self-nominate because I don't want there to be a void in the leadership. I think we need somebody in that position so all our work continues on. So I'm not sure I'll get elected, but I'm just...
your odds are improving by the minute.
Yeah, I've really I've really gone to everybody I could think of, you know.
Thanks, Greg. I know I should have done that myself, and
No, you're doing plenty, Mike. You're doing lots. You know, your connection with the national and the state has been fantastic, you know, because that's,
well, actually, I have very little connection to the state, so and that's kind of been by design. But
yeah,
but
but
anyway,
look at the things you've taken up, like the Holly Hawkins campaign. I mean, that was a big state thing. You know,
true.
you've taken up a lot of state things in your term, and you know, that's really appreciated, you know, by me anyway. It's important stuff.
Thank you.
So everybody's happy and healthy this morning, I hope.
So far, so
Yeah.
far.
It's actually sunshine.
Yeah, it's not
True.
nice to see. What a blessing. How about you, Jeffrey Reese?
I'm feeling pretty good. I got kind of maybe a question or comment. Considering right now that the Congress, House and Senate are so evenly divided between Democrats and Republicans, you think that in the next couple of years that the Green Party is going to figure in a little bit better in terms of elections?
Are we going to do better in terms of elections? Is that your question?
Yeah, I would like to find out whether having such a evenly split Congress is going to make a difference for us.
Interesting question.
First, we need more candidates.
That would help.
Generally speaking, you know, I mean, it all depends on what the new Congress winds up doing or not doing. There is so much that does need doing. That if ever, you know, there needs to be a new way to get things done. And so it'll be interesting to see how they respond, because I don't think they will dramatically.
If the Democrats spend less money trying to keep us off the ballot, that might be a good thing. And what will, yeah, the paradox is if we're less of a threat, then they'll spend less money keeping us off the ballot. So if we are in a position of having more power, they'll spend more money against us, right?
That's why we need allies. That's why we need allies in social movements.
Like who would be some allies, Mike?
Yeah, I've noticed I've gotten an equal amount of mail from Democrats and Republicans. I think they're trying to woo us here. And so we can't be wooed. But, yeah, nice try. So I think we might have a little bit more of a...
Good morning.
More of a touch.
What did you say about you think we might have what, Jeff?
I think we might be able to give the both parties a little bit more of a challenge.
We just have to find candidates, huh?
Well, not necessarily. We just need to have I think, an opinion, or I should say a viewpoint, agenda that, makes them at least sit up and think a little bit about whether they want us on board or they're just going to leave us alone. But I think they need the Green Party.
Ouch, that was loud.
Morning, Patty.
Hello.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, everyone.
Happy sunshine.
Yeah, isn't it great?
Jeff was just saying that he thinks we might be able to get some traction with the Congress and Senate being equally divided. We might be able to get some traction.
So my one comment, I have to vote today on whether to decertify Alaska, and I think Rhode Island might be in there, and I'm not sure which other state, but the point is this election hurt the Green Party too. It's caused division. Some states decided to pull out of the presidential election because of the spoiler effect. So, you know, it's confused. I can see it both ways. Why would we want to get rid of Alaska? I mean, but I guess it's complicated.
So,
I don't understand why we'd want to get rid of any state.
morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
Morning, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Yeah, so Tom, you have a tough decision to make, huh? Are you looking for input? Is that what you're saying, or what?
Yeah, I'm looking for input. Dave is on what? I haven't made up my mind. Carrie and I have talked about it briefly, but I spent about an hour on the listserv reading about it. And, you know, there's just so much. It's been going on for 8 weeks, the discussion. So there's a lot to catch up on.
There is a lot to catch up on. And yeah, an hour doesn't really do it justice.
Right.
My own feeling is that despite the constant intervention by the leader of the Alaska Party, I don't think he really wants to be in the. I don't think he wants to be in the National Green Party.
Yeah, he's infamous for that Richard or whatever. Yeah, I mean
Robert Shields.
Oh, Robert. Okay, Robert Shields, right?
My thought is, I don't see how the Green Party can ever become a valid party in the United States if we're not unified with the states. And I'm getting that may not be a Green Party frame of mind where you have a centralized leadership, but without a centralized leadership and random states choosing to be under the central leadership of the U.S. Green Party, I don't see how the Green Party can ever be a viable party in the U.S. Green Party in the world. Pass.
I'm willing to keep time and keep a stack if people want me to do that. We're at 10:34, I think.
Yep.
So,
quick
let's
question.
wait till we get to 10:35, and then I think we should start.
So, Greg, is your fan acting up again?
yeah.
Wow.
But it's pretty quiet. Is it that loud for you guys?
It's loud. Yeah.
It's noticeable.
Okay. I'll mute.
And so it is 10:35. Obviously, we will begin with who we have, and ideally we can proceed directly. Let me go share my agenda. There we go.
Is that the current one, Mike?
Should be.
Because there were some last minute changes to it.
Is this the right one, Greg?
Well, it had timestamps of like 10 o'clock last night, right? And it's in the GMGP main. Yeah.
Let's see here. I can tell by looking. Can you go down to the team building thing?
January.
Or better yet, go to the short-term objective. Yeah, go to the team building.
Timestamps are your friends. Are your friend.
Last edit was 13 minutes ago.
Yeah, that should be right then.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. So,
if people could just please say staff for me, that'd be great.
agreed. I will continue to try to do my best on that. And this is your reminder, the meeting is being recorded. It is very helpful to the minute taker, and but it's also accessible to any of you at any point in time. Are there any objections to recording and sharing the meeting? Starting with Green Party News. Y'all can read that. Greg, if you wanted to add anything to that. Seeing none. Here are the annual goals that we selected for 2020. We will continue our discussion for the new annual goals for 2021 later in the meeting. But last year, our goals were double our membership through bottom-up grassroots organizing a coalition and campaign for a local pandemic Green New Deal, increase our candidate number above the 2019 candidate recruitments, and that we have at least 3 social events. We made progress on all of those, including now the objective number 2 reports later.
Greg Stack.
Greg.
So we're also evaluating those specifically today. So Barbara will tell us how we did with the increasing candidates thing. And can you go up a little bit, Mike? And let's see, double our membership. Patty kind of already reported on that for the state, but I don't know if we have specifics on that, or if Patty can give us a ballpark on whether we met that goal or not locally, and then organize a coalition campaign for a local pandemic Green New Deal. I don't know. Do you want to address that one, Mike, as we evaluate that?
That will be in the outreach committee report.
Okay, great. And social events, we already did that one. So we just need to hear from Barbara on increasing candidates. And if Patty wants to talk about doubling our membership so we can evaluate whether we have a ballpark on whether we met that goal or not. I gave it 7 minutes because this is the evaluation. I thought this might be where we did the evaluation part of the previous, of this 2020 up until February goals.
Patty.
Go ahead, Patty.
So I'm not prepared today to report on whether we've met that goal. I'll have to report on that at the next meeting. Pass.
Thanks for being willing to do that, Patty. Appreciate it. I should have given you a heads up on that anyway.
Any further discussion on this point? Folks can read the short-term objectives.
Greg,
I think- Greg.
So as far as short-term objectives goes too, some of those we can evaluate right now. Again, that's why I gave it 7 minutes. So this last one here, Alex Brower for school board and Sam Michaels for school board. I personally feel like we've met those, as far as being fully engaged on those short-term objectives. But does anybody else have any feelings about those?
Tom Stack.
Go ahead, Tom.
I think there is a calling session possibly, tonight to support Alex Brower. It's being run by the DSA, but if people are interested, well, maybe what I can attempt to do is put a calendar entry up on the Greater Malachi Green Party calendar with the details. Pass.
Stack,
So,
Bill. Stack, Bill.
go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone who made a financial contribution to Alex Brower's school board campaign. Alex asked me to do some fundraising for him, and I contacted a few dozen people, and a number of people agreed to, including some on this call today, to contribute to his campaign, and every bit helps. He's trying to raise enough money to run a very serious campaign, and he's off to a great start. He's doing very well, and I think we can pat ourselves on the back for giving him a great assist in that. Pass.
Thanks, Bill. And that just verifies again what we were saying about we have pretty much met that short-term objective for Alex Brower, and we've been pretty good with Sam too. Going back to the beginning of the short-term objectives, becoming partners with mutual aid organizations in Milwaukee, at least one, Milwaukee Community Care and Mutual Aid. I did this week go to the River West Food Pantry. They did need help, and so I worked there, and I'll continue to do that at one of those pantries or food handout places. So as far as calling the sheriff and so I think we've met that one. As far as calling the sheriff and telling him to do the mortgage foreclosure thing, to refuse to carry those out, I think some of us did that. I know I did. Calling the mayor and the city council representatives, I also did that. I don't know if anybody else did it, but I think that meets our objective. Short-term objective, DSA, our coalition partner, is working on eminent domain for getting rid of weak energies. I don't know. Does anyone want to speak to whether they know that we're a partner with that or we want to partner with that?
I think that's certainly something we should discuss, but not at this precise moment. But maybe someone could tell us a bit more as either later in this meeting or at the next one, or perhaps we could have them have DSA come and give us an educational.
That's a good suggestion, Mike. Okay, so DSA is the educational component. And the last one there, door-to-door Green New Deal canvas for membership recruiting in River West. I think we have also to discuss that because that would take someone leading on that. And so is that okay if we put that on the discussion list too? Anybody object? We have not currently met that.
Patty, Stone.
Go ahead, Patty.
Greg, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. You seem to be breaking up a bit. What was the last thing that you said?
As far as the Green New Deal door-to-door membership recruiting proposal, we haven't done that yet, but we can discuss it. You know, it could be a new objective. So as far as evaluation goes, we have not done that yet. Pass. That's it, Mike.
Okay. Any further discussion on the short-term objective point? Hearing none. I think we all know each other. So we'll skip the introductions. You folks can see my co-chair report.
Greg Stack. As far as the co-chair report goes, I just think we all need to know that Mike had us in a meeting for the anti-racist Green New Deal for Milwaukee. And so we did have our first meeting, and I want to thank Mike for his leadership on that.
That's right there. There will be a report later on. Unless there's further discussion, we'll move on to the secretary's report. Folks got the minutes from the last meeting a couple weeks ago. Is there any discussions, corrections, or additions? Is there a proposal to approve?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Treasurer's report. Hi, Barb.
Can you hear me? I'm
We can.
unmuted.
You
Yay.
are.
Okay.
We're all getting better at this.
It takes there's a learning curve, let's say that. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I see on my last statement from December, but just in the last 2 days, I deposited 5 new memberships. So that's an additional, who can do the math on that?
75 or?
Yes, thank you.
Is that right?
So our December statement was $670.50 in the savings and $352.57 in the checking. So that 352 will be up by 75 next time, at least. I'm hoping we get more memberships. So thank you all who sent me money.
My check will be in the mail today, I think.
Sounds good. I've got to do that myself.
Same with mine.
All right, we got 3 more coming.
Greg Stack.
Greg.
So we have to, Patty, are you saying you want to be on the stack?
I did. I'll go after you, Greg.
Okay. So we have to decide when we want those memberships to be in place for voting. So I'm going to propose that we do that for our next meeting, that those memberships, in order to vote in the next meeting, you would have to be, you would have to have your membership in. But that, we don't have to deal with that proposal right now, but I'm going to make that proposal whenever Mike feels it's appropriate. So pass. Go ahead, Patty.
Yeah, Barbara, could you send me the names and all the information on that, dates, amounts, all of that, so I can get that in the database?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Should I just put the forms all in an envelope together and send them to you?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Great. Sure. I will do that.
Sure, thank you.
Greg Stack, Barbara, could I also have those names so that they can be on the agenda for who is eligible to vote?
Sure. So you just need a list of names, not
I
all
just
the
need the
contacts?
list, yeah.
Okay,
just the list. Thank you very much. Pass.
you're welcome.
I think that's it for the stack on that one, Mike.
Let's see. So that's the treasurer's. Is there a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve treasurer's report.
Are there any blocking concerns? Anyone want to stand aside? Treasurer's report is approved. Membership. Patty? You're muted, Patty.
Sorry, I thought I ended. The state membership committee, outreach committee met on Thursday and agreed that we will be conducting a membership, new member and member renewal campaign in January. And an email will go out to all the majority of people in the state database, and newsletter. The plan is to send newsletters with a membership renewal application, hopefully by the end of January. And I revised the membership application for Greater Milwaukee and sent that to Greg, which he sent out this week through the Google discussion group with the membership application attached in that. So if you didn't see that, please look for that email and please renew your membership. And also I just wanted to say that because we're not able to pass the magic hat, if you are able to include a little extra contribution for the magic hat that's not been passed for all these months, that would be fabulous and really helpful as well. And I think that's all I have for now, unless somebody has any additions or thoughts that something I've missed. Pass.
Mike Stack. Just a note, I also put a link to the membership form that's already on the GMGP site. I posted the link to our Facebook page and group, so maybe we'll get some traffic that way as well.
Thanks, Mike. And that's all I have.
Stack on that one, Mike.
Greg?
I was just saying that's the end of the stack on that one.
Okay. Greg, well, since we're on the currently eligible to vote section of the report, did you want to make your motion now?
Yeah, so my motion is that we all have our memberships in if we want to vote by our next meeting. And, you know, if people get their memberships in after that, they'll be able to vote at meetings after that. They just wouldn't be able to vote at the February meeting. Pass.
Discussion on the proposal. Seeing none. Are there any blocking concerns to this, to accepting this motion? Are there any who wish to stand aside? I believe we have consensus, Greg. So everybody get your membership in. Patty, I assume you'll bring us the list at the next meeting so we can clarify the voting list.
Yes.
Yeah,
Great.
and Barb has offered to Greg Stack. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Patty. Are you done?
Oh, I'll just say I'll get a list to to the co-chairs before the meeting.
Yeah, and Barb has offered to give me a list as well, so it can be on the agenda. So just in case that doesn't make it to Patty on time, people will still be able to vote for the February meeting. Pass. Nobody else on this deck.
IT social media. Tom. If you're saying something we can't hear.
Okay, I'm timing this. That was 8 seconds wasted. Good news is like three or four meetings. Kind of pleasantly surprised. So I met twice with Thomas Ward, and I think 3 times with Jennifer. With Jennifer, we were focusing on the Greater Milwaukee Green Party website. She had a list of like 25 items, and a lot of them we can't really address without changing the theme, or so I think anyway. But we did make some minor changes. I did a one line of code post to put the fall gathering in the blog, and then Jennifer and I started on a blog entry about Project Censored. Probably too ambitious because there's 25 articles, but I think I'm going to limit the scope and try and finish that up. Let's see. Had another meeting with Thomas Ward and a friend of his who's used to using a WordPress theme, so he has a whole different angle on everything. But he seems to be interested. The two of them seem to be interested in contributing graphical, like being kind of graphic designer resources for the website. Let's see, just continuing to do one-to-one training, Zoom. It's interesting. I'm learning, about Chromebooks. I'm learning about Mac and Windows machines by training people. And so right now, the active people in the IT group and a technical level, I would say, would be Thomas Ward and myself. And our leaning is that if we can't use Zoom for all the meetings, and I don't think we can, that for video meetings, we should consider going with Jitsi as a recommendation at the state level, with the caveat being that it's just a suggestion. I encourage people to use whatever they think is best. So I think that's it, and I'm under 3 minutes. Pass.
Go ahead, Patty, and then I have me on the stack.
And me.
Tom, what are the benefits, advantages of using Jitsi over other platforms? Pass.
Okay, well, Jitsi covers most of the things that Zoom does. It's not perfect, but Jitsi's free. You can do recordings to the cloud, although that's frankly maybe one of the weaker parts of it, the way they implement that. It's got a free Libre open source software license, which is excellent, meaning it's more of a community product as opposed to a corporate product. It allows simultaneous sharing. You have 6 people in a meeting, all 6 people can be sharing their screen at the same time, unlike Zoom where you have to pass that back and forth. And it supports plain old telephone lines. You can call in with a plain old-fashioned telephone. It has some, it has some disadvantages too, but for small meetings, it seems, it's not perfect. None of these things are perfect. Pass.
A gentle time reminder on this item, and like for Jitsi, I'm hoping, if it's okay with Tom, we can have that on the agenda as a discussion item for future. I just wanted to say, Tom, Tom just taught me how to put the minutes into a folder, so our minutes will be accessible on our Google documents in a place, and these are the approved minutes. So that process worked the best this time that it ever worked, with Patty getting the minutes to us and then the minutes getting into that folder after they're approved. So I just want to thank Tom for his continuing education thing. The other part that I wanted people to know about is we've been discussing what to do with our website, because right now the last post was in October. When somebody opens up the front
No,
page.
that's not true.
Okay,
The last post was about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay, great. So it looks like we don't need to discuss that. Never mind. Mike, you're up.
Okay, just wanted to note that yesterday Monty took over as Facebook group moderator. I'm not entirely happy with what he did, but we'll leave that aside because I turned it over to him. So he will be the moderator for the near future. We are still in search of a social media coordinator and media rep, but that's further down in the agenda.
We are over time on this one, Mike, but that's the end of the stack.
Without objection, there's nothing for us to decide on, right, Tom?
Nothing to decide, but since you're letting me talk, the
10
minutes
seconds.
are in co-chairs / public minutes. And so the public can be aware that the whole world can see the minutes now. Pass.
If there's no further discussion, Elections Committee.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. If I haven't seen you so far this year, we had our Elections Committee meeting on, I think it was last Tuesday, the 5th. And a whole bunch of people showed up, which is good. And it's actually expanding a little bit with the coordinating council. So we may think about splitting up the committee again into a state committee and a local, because we're working on a bunch of different stuff. First of all, we talked about how the campaign school went, and definitely cheers to Dave and to Tom, who really were the two big wheels putting this on and did a fantastic job. What needs to be done with that, if there's any volunteers to help them out, is to cut up the video that was created so that we can host it on our website. And then people can really explore all of these different parts of having a campaign. And so it was really informational and went very well. And we have some follow-up to do for that too, including for our own Christopher Walker, who has been helping out a little bit more, or like he's been looking in on us with elections and really interested still, and was thinking even about running for office. So we have some new people to consider and send out our questionnaire to. We also talked about 2021 candidate updates. Obviously, we can really be cheerful about Alex Brower getting on the ballot. He got his signatures, so that's awesome. And thanks to any of you who helped out with that effort. And in Madison, they're still like thinking about candidates right now. Whoever's on the ballot, they start sending out questionnaires to. So if there are people on our ballots that we think are green leaning people in these nonpartisan races, if you all want to let me know about these people, I can send them questionnaires and ask if they would like to be vetted as a green candidate. So that's just an announcement for you all. We would like to have our own internal elections in the committee pretty soon. So really, we're looking at solidifying our own committee and building it into a really well-running machine. And let's see, was there anything else we really talked about? So we have a few smaller races this year, but we really have a good chunk of time to get our strategy for 2022 together. So if people are interested in strategizing throughout the year, we're always looking for new ideas and, new energy on that front. Also, we want to start doing outreach for Conservation Congress and talking about how to put together advisory questions. So we have a good strategy for April as well. So those are really the two things moving forward, besides the folks that we're trying to get in these offices in February or April, depending on if there is a primary. So I think that's about it from me. Did you guys want me to report all of our all the people who ran for office this last year with the goal setting?
Yeah, if you could, Barbara, that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, so just a reminder for all of what we did this last year, we got Angelito Tenorio in office. He's currently my alderman. We vetted Eric Hildeman, although his campaign did not make it. We approved Alex Brower last year for city comptroller, and the energy from his campaign has just continued moving forward. It was just such an honor to be part of that campaign. And obviously we're running him again for school board, so that's awesome. We had Adam Kasalki running for school board last year. And I think that was it locally, but we did have some other exciting candidates that we did vet around the state, like Cassandra Erickson up in the north in Green Bay, Todd Price in Kenosha, and Jeffrey Jacobs, of course, in, I want to say Appleton, but that's wrong. Oshkosh.
Greg Stack.
Mike Stack. Go, Greg.
So when Barbara and I were talking about, was that 5, Barbara, locally? Because when you and I talked, we came up with 5 that
Yep,
we did.
that's
Okay,
5.
great. So I just want to congratulate us. I think we met our goal, our annual goal for more candidates, because we had 5 candidates in 1 year. I think that's the best we've ever done. Pass, Mike.
2 questions. First, do we know if Alex has a primary?
I'd have to look it up to see how many candidates there are in his race. If there's more than 2, I believe there will be a primary.
There are.
Right.
That was my question too, because there were 2 other people
Yes, there's
gathered
3.
signatures. I don't know if they made it.
Gentle time reminder and a stack reminder.
Second,
I've got one more note, just so everybody knows who we have in office besides. I'm still a Conservation Congress delegate. Mariah Robinson is still a delegate, although she's going to be up for re-election this year and she's not going to take it. So there's going to be an open spot. Bob Peterson is still in the school board. And yeah, those are other people that we have elected around here.
one more question.
Go ahead, Mike.
I got a random email from a candidate for state superintendent, Dr. Chandolian Hendricks. Do we know anything about her? Did anyone else get that email?
No, I didn't. Do you want to forward it to me?
I will.
Thanks.
That's the end of this stack, Mike, and we're at time with that item.
Okay. Nothing that we have to vote on, Barb?
I don't believe so. Our next committee meeting is obviously the first Tuesday of next month at 6 o'clock. So that's February 2nd.
Okay. Without objection, we'll move on to the Outreach Committee report. As Greg noted earlier, the Outreach Committee met for the first time on Wednesday, January 6th. We started brainstorming approaches to an anti-racist Green New Deal in Milwaukee, focusing on three areas. Program demands, what we should be asking local governments to do. We started to throw up some ideas. Allies and partners, the second area, who should be part of this coalition, general categories, specific organizations, and targets, the governments and agencies who we are going to present our program demands to, including Milwaukee City and county government, at least to begin with. Greg and I are also reviewing various government documents and academic research papers to look for ideas to incorporate into our vision for the Green New Deal. The committee now has an area on the GMGP Google Drive for research notes and all this other material. And you can also access the brainstorming doc. I'm going to put that in the chat here, and please feel free to add stuff. And let me first find the chat. I've got too many windows open as per usual. But that will get in the chat shortly. Chances are good that you already have the ability to add ideas to the list. If you don't have access, let me know. Drop me an email. We are looking for new members. Let me know if you have some time to contribute, and I'll invite you to the next call that we failed to set a date and time for. So that will be coming as well. That's our report.
There's nobody on the stack for that one, Mike, so far.
In that case, we will move on to the next item, which is GMGP officer nominations. The floor is open for co-chair. Are there any nominations for co-chair? We have 2 seats available.
Greg Stack. After extensive research and phone calling to see about nominations before the meeting, so it wouldn't take a lot of time at the meeting, and finding none, I'm hoping someone will nominate at this meeting for co-chair. And I'll give it a minute, and then I have another comment to make, or however long you want to give it, Mike. But I do have another comment to make before we close co-chair nominations. Pass.
Any other nominations?
Oh, the other thing I should say is I'll just screen share on what it is to be the co-chair.
That's just what I was thinking, Greg.
Yep, sorry. So this is some of the duties. And so the ones that have a little plus at the end of, I've been doing secretarial stuff to help Mike. So those are the ones that I've been doing. The ones that are not having pluses by them, those are the ones that Mike's been doing, and he might add to that list. But basically, the duties of the Greater Milwaukee Green Party co-chair are up to the co-chair. So you take on what you can take on and you leave the rest behind, basically. Checking email count, I do that because that's what's stamped on our state brochures that we use for our brochures. Participate in at least one of our coalitions. I do that, but so does Mike. Post meetings to Facebook. I've been doing that. Monty's helped me with that. Mike schedules the meetings. Mike approves the minutes with the secretary, and then we post them to a list. I sometimes help with that. That's again another secretarial kind of a task to help him. Set up and participate in the agenda meetings for the monthly meetings. Mike does that. Check minutes for state coordinating council. Mike, you've been doing that, right? Yeah. And again, you know, it's totally up to the co-chair what they take on and what they don't, because not everybody's going to have the time to do that as co-chair, and that might not be somebody's priority. Connect with committee chairs and officers on a once-a-month basis or more frequently. I usually do that again as a secretarial thing, just so that for the agenda, we know how many minutes we need so that we don't go overtime and aggravate people about, you know, why is this meeting running too long, that kind of thing. And report on local activities at state biannual gatherings. Mike's been doing that as co-chair. And monitor Green Party national activities. He's also chosen to do that. But again, that's optional. Where like reporting on local activities at the state biannual gatherings is less optional. The state pretty much expects somebody to do that from our local, being that we're the biggest local in the state of Wisconsin. So does anybody have a question about those duties?
And technically they're semi-annual gatherings, rather than every other year.
Oh, thanks. Okay, nobody on the stack, Mike. So I do have another comment. I am going to self-nominate because I'm concerned about having a void in the co-chair position.
Yay,
So-
Greg.
Thanks, Patty.
Great. All right.
And I'll stop screen sharing this.
Are there any further nominations? I will say this 3 times. Are there any further nominations?
So
Are
Mike,
there-
am I understanding you're stepping down?
I am stepping down.
Okay.
If you want some reasons, I've been in the co-chair position and in the leadership since we adopted our bylaws, with the exception of exactly 1 year. That term is up now. Prior to that, I convened meetings for something like 5 years before we established new bylaws, something like that. And I feel I've done what I could, and it's really I don't think it's good for the party to have permanent co-chairs. So this is a good time for me to step down.
Mike, could I ask you to reshare the agenda, please?
Oh, yes, I can do. Yes.
Thank you.
Are there any further nominations for co-chair? Are there any other nominations for co-chair? Are there any other nominations for co-chair? Hearing none. Greg, I'm going to mandate that you take the 2-year term. We still have a second co-chair seat available for 1 year. There we are. I
you.
believe we have a co-chair. Nominations are open for secretary.
I'll self-nominate for that.
Oh, I was going to nominate you also, Patty. You've been doing a great job.
Thank you, Barbara. On the condition that if we return to normal, our world returns to normal, I may be returning to doing a good bit of travel, which will take me away on weekends, and I may have to miss meetings. So on the condition that, and I'm sure someone else will take minutes and in my absence, but I'll be happy to self-nominate and continue on for the next year with that condition. Pass.
Stack, Bill.
Go ahead, Bill.
Bill?
If in the event we return to normal, whatever that is, I have often volunteered to take minutes if the secretary is not there, just to help out. So I would be willing to do that in the future too.
Greg Stack.
Thank you for being an alternate, Bill.
Yeah, thank you, Bill.
Indeed.
So, anybody, did you want to say something, Mike? I'm on the stack, but I can put you on the stack too.
No, I was just going to ask for any further nominations.
Okay, so I just wanted to say that we also have a new thing going on with the minutes that people may not be totally aware of, but our meetings are now recorded. So, you know, we are putting the recording out with the minutes at the same time. So that way, you know, if somebody wants to know exactly what happened at the meeting, or if they want to go back and check on something that happened at the meeting that they didn't quite hear, you can actually do that now. Pass.
Are there further nominations? Are there further nominations? Going 3 times. Are there any further nominations for secretary?
Gentle time reminder on this item.
Hearing none, I believe we have a secretary.
Yay.
Yay. Lastly, treasurer. Are there nominations for treasurer?
I would like to nominate Barb Eisenberg.
Thank you, Greg.
As would I.
I'm going to take that as an acceptance bar.
Yes.
Are there further nominations for treasurer? Are there further nominations for treasurer? Are there further nominations for treasurer?
Come on, guys. I want a big fight.
Hearing none. Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
I believe those are all the officers we have to be elected this time. Oh yes, we have to re-ratify current committee chairs.
Yes, just gentle time reminder, we are 1 minute over on this item.
Okay. I should have looked all of those up, and you've heard from all of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a motion that the current committee chairs remain in office, that we authorize the existing committees and their chair people for 2021.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a point of order. So the way the Green Party works apparently, and this is George teaching us about this, is we make a proposal, it doesn't have to be seconded, we just vote on it. Pass.
Tom Stack.
Go ahead, Tom.
So since we're in the parliamentary stuff, in theory, if there were enough people on the committees internal to the committee, they should self-select their chair. Is that correct? Or, I mean, I'm thinking, of course, the state level, but I'm just throwing that out there. Pass.
Barbara Stack.
Go ahead, Barbara.
We have traditionally had people within the whole Greater Milwaukee Green Party body get elected to those seats at a regular membership meeting. At the state level, we do have elections for the chair of the committees through the committees themselves, but I think it's just a little bit different. Pass.
There's nobody else on the stack right now, Mike, for this.
Patty Stack.
Go ahead, Patty.
What are the current committees that we are going to be approving for 2021? What are the committees?
Outreach, IT, elections,
Okay.
and
Sorry,
membership.
I wasn't thinking committees. I don't know why. Not enough sleep last night. Pass.
Gentle time reminder, we are about 3 minutes over on this item.
If there's no further discussion, yeah, I don't know offhand exactly what the bylaws say about electing committee chairs, but yes, it has been our practice, and that is based on the bylaws, that we reauthorize the committees at a membership meeting, which is what we're doing right now. So are there any objections to moving along? Are there any blocking concerns to renominating, reauthorizing and ratifying the current co-chairs, current committee chairs? Does anyone wish to stand aside? We have consensus. Next, GMGP rep on the state coordinating council, one additional election today. At the last meeting, Carrie was nominated. Are there any further nominations for GMGP representative on the state coordinating council?
Greg Stack.
Greg.
I just want to say, I want to thank Carrie for self-nominating, and I have a blocking concern about vetting her as a candidate because of some views she's expressed about a certain minority, and also I want to thank her for being so patient with our moderation of our Facebook page, because she brought that up to me and it was very helpful. I think it really pushed us along as getting a new moderator, and the fact that she was patient with us because we were overwhelmed before we got a new moderator. Just really appreciate that, and I appreciate your participation, Carrie. Pass.
Stack.
Go ahead, Bill.
I have not been convinced that we need an additional representative for the Greater Milwaukee Green Party on the state coordinating council, just for the practical consideration that we already have 4 representatives on the state coordinating council. And those are Barbara Dahlgren, Tom, myself, and Patty, by virtue of officer positions and other considerations. Secondly, the coordinating council meetings are open to the membership, as I understand. And occasionally some members will log into the coordinated consult meetings. So if others in the Greater Milwaukee Green Party wish to participate, observe, they have people have speaking rights and so on, they're free to do so. And a third consideration is, though Carrie has played a positive role in the Greater Milwaukee Green Party, I also share Greg's concerns about her views concerning a particular minority group. And I think that her views are not in keeping with Green Party values and views. And I would have a blocking concern about her participating as a voting member of the coordinating council representing Milwaukee. Pass.
Tom Stack.
We have a just a gentle time reminder. We have 2 minutes left on this item. Go ahead, Tom.
So one thing that I'm just noting is that we have a calendar for those coordinating council meetings, and on the calendar it's got the connection, how to connect in the meeting and so forth. That is not open to the public, and that's because that's the way I set it up. So I would have to change that, and that would be pretty interesting to make it open. But I mean, I appreciate being told that. And then the second point would just be, I could have probably ducked this issue, but I think it, so Carrie knows if, I would support her being on the coordinating council. I am not 100% convinced, you know, there is a position that she holds, I could be specific about it later, that does seem to be pretty severe, but, you know, I've spent about an hour or over an hour talking to her, and I'm also impressed by, you know, just how polite and how procedurally fair she is about everything. So, and you know, focused, hardworking. So, oh, and with respect to Bill, yeah, that argument about the number, I guess that's an argument, but technically we are in a position to have another representative. So, on the coordinating council. Pass.
We have Carrie and Barbara on the stack. Did you say you want to be on the stack too, Mike?
Yes.
And I did too.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Carrie.
Actually, I'll pass to the other two Barbs, I believe, that wanted to speak, if and then I can speak at the end if that's okay.
Sure. I'm not sure who was first. Did both Barbaras want to be on the stack?
I was on the stack.
Okay, go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we definitely should take advantage of all of the representative spots that we can hold. I think that it's a good plan. We haven't had somebody holding this spot in the last year. We had somebody who was a placeholder, but they could never make the meetings because of the work schedule. But I think that it's a good idea to have somebody on there. And we have a couple of people who are on the national committee, and sometimes those people get disjointed from actually getting the messages about the national committee back to us. So in that vein, I'd like to nominate Mike McAllister so that we can really be concerted on that national committee effort. And I'll pass.
Gentle time reminder, we're 1 minute over on this item. Go ahead, Mike, Patty, actually, you're next on the stack, but Mike, did you want to accept or not accept that nomination?
Let me think about that for a moment.
Okay, go ahead, Patty.
Yeah, I just want to say that I have ongoing concerns with the Green Party, that we decide who is with us and who is against us these days. And I feel like I may hold views that are not entirely in line with what the Green Party members seem to hold. However, I don't raise those because I support most everything with the Green Party, and I feel like Carrie has contributed, is a positive member in what I've observed in Greater Milwaukee, and to assume that whatever views she holds that may not, many Green Party members may not agree with, and I don't myself, but I really feel like we're treading on thin ice when we start deciding who is with us and who is against us. And I'm making the assumption that because Carrie holds beliefs that are not in line with the majority, that somehow that will cause, that there will be issues that, and she would not be able to carry out her duties as a member of the coordinating council. And that's making an assumption, which I'm uncomfortable with. Pass.
Thanks, Patty. Again, I'm going to remind people we are at this point 3 minutes over on this item, so please keep it brief. Mike?
Yes. So two things. First, I also have concerns about Carrie. I appreciate the work that she's done over the past months. I feel that this position is specifically to represent the Greater Milwaukee Green Party on the state coordinating council. And I fear that Carrie might choose to go beyond the consensus decisions that we have made on the local level. As others have already said, I also feel that GMGP is perhaps already overrepresented on the CC. I don't feel that we need additional members at this time. At the same time, having been nominated, I think I will accept, recognizing that I may not be able to make every single meeting.
Okay. Are you passing, Mike?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes, I'm very concerned by the blocking concerns that I'm hearing from my peers. There is nothing the opinions I hold may be a minority view in certain circles. I can guarantee you they are not a minority view nationally or internationally. And I would like to know specifically what people find problematic about someone who recognizes that gender identity ideology clashes with the rights of women and girls that already exist and are a direct challenge to them. I want to know what is unacceptable about that. This is a feminist party. My positions are feminist positions, and there's nothing that's negative about defending the rights of women. And I'd like to know what Greg and Bill specifically have as a concern, and perhaps we can clarify, we can make some clarifications about that.
Just a point of order. So the way our voting system works is if you have a blocking concern, you need to state what that concern is, you know, which Bill and I have both done. We can certainly talk with you more about it, Carrie, at another time. There is a question about, Mike, is your concern about Carrie a blocking concern? Someone was asking.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that's 3 blocking concerns. We've all stated our position on that, Carrie. So,
Yes,
you know,
you've used
Carrie, I wasn't finished, Carrie.
I'm sorry.
So the other part of that is, you know, you can have a stand aside, or you can vote yes. So, or you can, so those are our procedures. So that's where we're at. We do need to call the question on this because we're at 11:41, which we're like 8 minutes over on this item.
Well, we may be over minutes, but I think this is a discussion we need to have.
Yes, and we can do that at another time, but we're in the process of voting right now. We're ready, Mike.
Two people have accepted nomination as representative to the State Coordinating Council. We did not anticipate having a contested election.
Mike, could I just make a point of order?
Yes.
So when someone comes up for election, they have to be vetted. And we had 3 blocking concerns on vetting Carrie. So really there's only 1 candidate and we need to vet you. So we need to ask if there's any blocking concerns, any stand asides on you as a candidate.
I don't feel I should probably administer that vetting.
Okay,
So
I can do that. So are there any blocking concerns on Mike being our candidate for the State Coordinating Council, our representative? Any stand asides? Okay, so Mike, you are our
Actually,
only.
I'm going to say that I have a blocking concern.
Okay, duly noted, Carrie. So we have 1 blocking concern. That's not enough to prevent you from being our representative on the State Coordinating Council, and you are our only candidate. So without any other blocking concerns or stand asides, Mike, you are elected as our State Coordinating Council rep for Greater Milwaukee Green Party. And we are on to the next item.
okay.
Tom
see.
Stack. So in the parliamentary rules, so how many blocking concerns result in a block? Is it the threshold of 2 or? Okay, got it. Thank you. Pass.
Moving onward. We continue to have volunteer job openings. We are still looking for a media secretary, media coordinator, should the local have news for to be covered by the standard media and progressive media as well. That is still available. That's available. And social media coordinator is the person who handles posting to Twitter, Facebook, and any other social media that we want to reach out to and communicate with.
Great stack.
Great.
So I just wanted to say I forgot to put in there Patty's suggestion about Instagram, and I'll make sure that's in there next time for the social media coordinator. And the reason Facebook isn't in there is because, like Mike stated, Marty has volunteered to do that now for us. So pass.
Well, he's only doing part of that job. That so it still belongs. That's he's moderating the group. He's not posting to the page. I think I'm technically still doing that, and others can also. And then there's all kinds of other stuff that could be done by the social media coordinator on Facebook as well.
Greg Stack. So just for clarification, so Monty is just moderating the page, not the, I mean the group, not the page.
That's yeah. That of course, if he wants to take on the page, that's but that's not what we asked him to do.
So is the page doesn't get posts that have to be moderated? Is that what?
That's
that works?
correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Only those of us who have rights. That's you and I and possibly some other folks who can currently post to our page. That is the local's official voice.
Thanks for that clarification, Mike. We are 1 minute over on this item. There is nobody else on the staff.
Okay. I believe without objection, we will move to the next portion of the meeting. Greg, I was considering asking you to take over at this point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, because actually I'll screen share because this actually goes along with our needs and our, let's see where we got that here. Right here. Okay. So these are the needs that we came up with for the Greater Milwaukee Green Party. More money is helpful, Greater Milwaukee area contacts, completely on nation builder, etc. So those two things do not have stars in front of them. These three things have stars in front of them because orientation packet, sheets for petitioners, and campaigns being more proactive getting stuff to us. Those are all things like for the elections committee. These things are membership stuff, more money and Greater Milwaukee area contacts completely on nation builder. And those things need to be kind of part of our vision down here. And they are pretty much. By including, like last time we had a little bit of a concern about this last part of this, and we represent the majority's actual choices for their governance. So if we can consensus on leaving that out and putting in, and all, like, as far as grassroots democracy goes, we are leaders to help disenfranchised and all voters through effective political campaigns. That would take care of getting our needs into our vision statement. The other part of that is, the first part, we are a source for leadership and effective organization in the community. And that kind of goes along with the membership part of our vision. So then we would pretty much have all of our needs into our vision statement, which is important. So membership would handle helping us to be an effective organization in the community because we'd have enough money, right, to do what we need to do. And we would have our nation builder up to date. So with that said, if we can agree on this vision statement and get rid of this, we are done with those two components of this dynamic change that we want to have as our end result. So I'm going to make a motion that we do that. So basically what you're looking at is this vision statement. We are a source for leadership and effective organization in the community. The 4 pillars. Peace, we are the group to join for local activists. Ecology, we lead the fight for climate justice. Social justice, we have the answers on economic issues and grassroots democracy. We are leaders to help disenfranchised and all voters through effective political campaigns. I'm going to propose that we accept that as our vision statement. You handle that proposal, Mike?
Sure. And I want to be on the stack as well.
Go ahead.
I might have some editorial suggestions, but I support this as a general statement.
Okay. Can you make the call the question?
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Are there any blocking concerns to adopting this vision statement with possible editorial corrections? Are there any, is there anyone who wishes to stand aside? I believe we have consensus, Greg.
Thank you. And that's it for our, can you share the screen, the agenda again, please, Mike?
Yes. Yay. This has been a long, a long process, and I want to thank Greg for convening all of these choices and helping us get to where we just got. This really is a big deal, folks.
Patty Stack.
Go ahead, Patty.
So the final vision statement, where will that be posted?
I can send it to you if you like.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll do that.
thank you.
So, as the agenda notes, we're going to skip the educational component today because we need to talk about goals. Folks should look at the announcements.
Greg Stack.
Greg.
The only thing I thought we might want to mention in there is I thought by now somebody on the coordinating council would know the date of this open state coordinating council meeting, but maybe not. But I just thought I'd ask if anybody knows that. Pass. Guess nobody.
Any other announcements? Moving on to coalition updates. Folks can see that there.
Yeah, I would like to say, Greg Stack, that our next meeting for normal is this Tuesday, so I can't give a report on that. As far as Wisconsin for Safe Technology, we have a member that is saying they might be interested in being our coalition contact for that. So I'm hoping that that's gonna come ahead. Is there anything down below that, Mike, on coalition updates?
Nope.
Okay, so
Well,
community care and mutual aid. Like I said, I did do the River West Pantry. And so we are doing that. And Save Our VA, I also went there and gave them the stuff from the Save Our VA, which is basically a bumper sticker that says Save Our VA. And then a little blurb that, oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the president of Veterans for Peace right now. Tom is his name?
Mark Foreman.
Mark Foreman. Yeah, so he did a little blurb that goes along with that bumper sticker. And then there's a checklist that came from the Veterans for Peace event that they put on winter before last. And the manager of the American Legion bar was very open to having that there on the counter so people could see it. And so that was cool because they have a no solicitation thing on their door. So I didn't know how that was going to play out, but it went good, and that is done. So that's why it's moved to a coalition update and taken off the agenda down below. Pass.
Barbara Stack.
Go ahead, Barbara.
I've been forgetting a couple announcements. One of them is that we were talking about having a strategy session at the coordinating council level. that's not going to end up happening this month. So if we do that, it'll be at next month's coordinating council. So if people want to, if you all are interested in that, just kind of keep that on your calendar. The other thing is that tomorrow, the DSA and a whole bunch of other left groups are having a rally to build a people's movement. And some of the DSA folks directly reached out to me to see if I wanted to go to the organizing meeting yesterday. And I was furiously typing, trying to finally send in my thesis, which happened. I'm now done with that. And so tomorrow is the actual movement session to build this movement with all these organizations. I believe it's at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it looks like a really great event. So I'm going to share it in the group chat, and I think I'll be able to go myself. So hopefully we can get some greens over there too, because we're usually we really want to move forward with eco-socialism and the Green New Deal, and I think that these groups will really help us do that. Pass.
We are just a gentle time reminder. We're 1 minute over. Go ahead, Barb.
Oh, just wondering if that's also going to be posted on the Facebook page.
We can make that happen.
Great. Thank you.
Nobody else on the stack right now, Mike?
Are they looking for endorsements? Do we need to, should we at least formally endorse this event?
I'd be for it.
I'm going to take that as a proposal that we endorse this action and participate in coalitions if there are further actions down the road. Is there any objection, stand-asides, or hearing none? Let's go do that too. Greg, I'm going to ask you to take the next part of the agenda because I have some urgent personal business to attend to.
Okay, are we on Sam Michael?
We are.
Okay, so Sam's not here today. I don't think he's here anyway, is he? Okay, Tom's shaking his head no. So I'll take that as a no. So we'll probably take that off the agenda next time until we hear from Sam again. Unless Barbara has any comments about whether, have you heard from Sam or talked with him about his?
I haven't. I think that he's been on vacation, so I'm not sure that he's really hooked into us right now.
Okay, we'll leave it on then, since you think he's on vacation. And our next item is outreach, Black Lives Matter. And that's basically an internet thing that you can go to find out what's going on with Black Lives Matter. There are a lot of local things that are going on a weekly basis. So you can check that. And it also includes the People's Revolution actions. State newsletter is also on here. Barbara, did you want to address the state newsletter? Where we're at with that?
I mean, it's pretty much where I was at before with it because I haven't been able to work on it at all. But the offer is still open. If people want to help me out, I'll be able to have a little bit more time to work on that going forward in this next month. Pass.
Okay. And the next item is assessing our annual goals. And we're going to need to set new goals for February implementation. So we did already assess them. And last time we worked on new goals, one of them was marketing as an annual goal. And a couple of things that came up with that one were putting out a $75 hard copy mailing and a social media person as a priority, especially making donating easy on Facebook. So social media as a priority. And then Patty also mentioned Instagram as, a nice tool that we could be using. I can't move up on this agenda, but what I'll do is I'll screen share mine and get rid of Mike's screen share. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. I think this is it. Nope. That's not it. Oh, I see it. I see how to do that. Okay. Mike, are you back? Can you move down on the agenda a little bit and reshare it? Please.
On my way, yes.
I was trying to do it on mine, but wasn't fast enough. You made it back.
There we go.
Okay. And if you could move down a little bit, Mike, on that. All right. And then improving the website. And again, there's making donating easy on our website. So making donating easy on our website and making donating easy on Facebook. So those would be marketing, part of the marketing goals. Did you want to be on the stack, somebody?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
So Barbara, how would you feel about if you have an eBay account? I think Bill is experienced with this, allowing people to just make deposits to your eBay account. I don't know if that would be ethical but it's a simple idea. Pass.
Did you want to respond to that, Barb?
Me?
I think he means PayPal, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know what my brain. Yeah, PayPal.
Thanks, Mike. Did you hear the question for you, Barb Eisenberg?
No, I'm sorry.
Tom was asking if it would be okay with you if you have a PayPal account, if people put money right into your PayPal account. So that we could do online donations.
It sounds like a good idea, but I don't know how that would work, because that would be my own personal, or would I open one for the Green Party?
This might be a discussion that would be better had off of this particular discussion, because right now we're just coming up with goals. We're not really going to problem solve about how to get there.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to run out of time.
Sure.
So we're just going to approve these goals, if that's okay with everybody. So
Carrie Stack?
Go ahead, Carrie.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw in there that many people don't use PayPal, don't have a PayPal account, and PayPal used to allow donations for people that didn't have an account. You could just, they would just, take your digital currency. However, they no longer do. So if you do not have a PayPal account, you cannot contribute to a PayPal account for a donation anymore. Just so
Thanks.
people are aware of that. That's a problem.
Thanks, Carrie. The second goal that was brought up last time is voter suppression and access as a priority. See the number 2 there. And the third goal that was brought up, now these are proposals for long-term goals, right? Is an anti-racist Milwaukee Green New Deal. So if we're going to have those as our annual goals, which means that we would set them today, and then do short-term objectives for how to get to those goals next month, that's when the discussion would take place, right? On how to get to these goals. So we would be voting on 1, 2, and 3 long-term goals. And I'll pass for discussion and turn it back over to Mike.
Discussion on the long-term goals.
So, Barb Stack,
Go ahead, Barb.
so this marketing as a goal, an annual goal, is that how is that different from, I'm not sure. So it's not just about money, it's about getting people to know who we are? Is that the idea?
No, it is, well,
I see some nodding
it's pretty
heads.
much, it's both, yeah. But the other thing that I need to just make people aware of is we're just talking about, the reason we left 30 minutes for this is it's a big deal. These are our annual goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to work for these things as a group. So we have to agree on them and we have to understand how they're going to be measured.
Sure.
So marketing as a goal, we would have to say how we're going to measure that. Like, are we going to come up with a 10% increase in our savings account and a 10% increase in our checking account? You know, what's going to be our measurement for that one? Voter suppression and access as a priority. How are we going to measure that to see whether we achieve that annual goal or not? So we would have to say something like, you know, we are going to participate in 3 voter access coalitions, or we're going to participate in 1 voter access coalition. And same thing with anti-racist Milwaukee Green New Deal. How are we going to measure whether we've been successful at having that as one of our long-term goals? You know, are we going to say we, you know, have 2 other coalition members? You know, how are we going to measure these? Because these goals need to be measurable. Okay. The other part of that is, I forgot the other part. Sorry. Maybe it'll come back to me. But anyway, so we can agree on these goals first, and then we have to come up with measurement, you know. So the first part would be agreeing on the goals, and then the second part would be how we're going to measure them. And we are, let's see, we have about 20 minutes left to do that. So,
So maybe
I'm gonna
it's just,
go ahead, Barb.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, Barb, go
Maybe
ahead.
it's just my own brain, but it would be more clear for me if it said marketing. I mean, if it said fundraising as an annual goal, then it would be clear to me that we're talking about money. But
okay,
I understand that. That's
yeah,
what's
and we can change the wording. You know, that's what this is all about. However, we're going to make it more clear, because if you're feeling confused about it, somebody else might be too, and we want new people to be able to read it and understand our goals. So I think we have Barbara on the stack, right?
Yeah.
Ahead, Barbara.
So I'll speak in
too.
favor of the marketing as an annual goal. I think that, well, first of all, it's been a while since we even held a fundraiser, but also we just don't really place a whole lot of priority on the finances of the party in general. And a lot of Greens are even like scared to talk about money. But money is really important. And the reason that is because if we want a real working class party, we're going to have to be willing to pay people to help us do some of this work. People are working 2 and 3 jobs these days, and they do not have time for a 4th job to be a full-time politician. So if we want to really become a good working class party and take care of those goals, build our membership, build our finances, build our capacity to run candidates, we're going to need to focus on the finances of this organization. So I've talked about this a little bit, but how can we make our organization more of a cooperative workforce where people actually get a little bit of money for helping us out, so that they're not negative on time, negative on money, negative on gas, because it takes all these resources to volunteer for us on top of the money that we put in as members. So I think of this as a really good way to build our membership, build everything by going really hard on fundraising for a while, maybe even trying fundraising in a cooperative way where people who fundraise actually get part of the fundraising dollars for putting it on. So that's kind of what my thought process is. Pass.
Thanks. Again, you guys, we have 20 minutes to get this all done left, or not even 20 minutes now. So could everybody please keep it short, and remember that we're just agreeing on these goals first. We're going to come up with a measurement tool for each one. And then next time we will do the short-term objectives on how we're going to get there, how we're going to get to those goals.
Tom,
So I have Patty on the stack, Mike, and then Tom. Go ahead, Patty.
My suggestion would be to change the term from marketing to development. Which
So
would,
is that a,
which would encompass all of those things, I believe.
okay, is that a proposal? I'm going to suggest that people make proposals, and then we can vote on them, and then we can get this wording correct so we can consensus on these.
Yes,
Are you
I'm making the proposal that the term is development rather than marketing.
Will you call the question, Mike?
Is there any further discussion on the amendment?
Tom, on the amendment.
Go ahead, Tom.
So it seems like it's another inside baseball nonprofit term that I'm supposed to know the meaning of, but I mean, I don't know what the development means.
Development would encompass anything that you're doing, any activities that promote growth. So making donating easy, improving the website, social media as a priority, all of those things are, the goal is to promote growth, and that's what falls under development.
Yeah, so friendly amendment would be to just put a comma, development, comma, any activities to promote growth so other people know. Pass.
Can you call a question on the amendment, Mike?
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Are there any blocking concerns to the to changing marketing to development? Patty, are you accepting Tom's suggestion as friendly?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll work on the wording.
And then we have you on the stack, Mike.
Yes. Without objection, we have consensus on that. So I'm, yes. As far, yeah, I think yeah, we should focus, I'll pass for
Okay.
Let's finish working on objective number one. Although I guess I would make a proposal that we adopt all three items as annual goals.
Yeah, and that is basically why they're there. So if you want to make, we can do that. If you want to make that proposal and call the question, that's fine.
I would make that proposal that we adopt all three items as our annual goals for 2021.
Tom Stack.
Go ahead, Tom.
So does that. Well, I had one more that I was that I put in the chat. So I don't know if they're independent issues, like maybe we can add these 3 and add another, or we just have 3 and that's all, or?
No, go ahead, Tom. I can't
Oh.
see it.
So in the chat, and I confess I got this from FCNL. Another group, lobby our representatives to repeal the 2001 and 2002 authorization for the use of military force to the President of the United States and cut the defense budget by 20%.
Okay, so what was the first part of that?
Repeal the AUMF, the authorization for the use of military force. It's allowed us to get in like 8 wars between.
Yeah, I got it. That answers my question. So if we're going to work on that, we would have to, as one of our annual goals, is what you're saying, we could work on that as one of our annual goals. And would you be willing to lead on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone can see that in the chat. So Mike, maybe what we need to do now, because we have a new one, is just take these one at a time and vote on whether to have those as our annual goals, but we should do it kind of fast.
Okay. Yeah, it's 1:15 already.
Yep.
Okay, so let's vote on development. Building the party.
We could have Patty state that if you want.
Yeah,
Can you state that from the minutes, Patty?
Sorry, I didn't get the term that Tom added.
No, not that one. Number 1.
Well, that's what I have as number 1 is
development activities to spur growth. Promote growth.
Okay.
Okay. You want to call the question on that one, Mike?
Is there any further discussion? Are there any blocking concerns to adopting this as amended as an annual goal? Is there anyone who wishes to stand aside? Hearing none, we have adopted annual goal number 1.
And, just to be fair, that one would be, someone has to lead on these annual goals as well. So is someone willing to lead on that one? Because, a lot of that stuff is, I know Patty said she's in favor of the $75 hard copy mailing, but does that mean your membership committee is willing to lead on that annual goal, kind of? Thanks.
Yes.
I would suggest that this is this would be a goal that the treasurer and membership committee can work on, and there would be obviously some outreach attached to that as well.
So do those
if we thought about it further.
So those committees are willing to, committee and officers are willing to do that?
Sounds like a good idea.
And IT for sure.
Okay. So we can move on to number 2, Mike.
Okay. Discussion on voter suppression access activities as a focus for us in 2021.
So go ahead, Barbara. I'm going to share my screen on that one because I have a voter suppression visual. Go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, I know that we have a whole bunch of different ways that voters are suppressed here. One of those is voter IDs, but another way is at the polls. The polls that I worked at last year, went really smoothly, and almost, I don't think anybody or most people weren't turned away. I think like one person didn't have an ID, but there were a whole bunch of consolidated polling places, and I have no idea how voting went there. So I think that it would be a great way to work on this goal by actually having volunteers at polling places, either to work or to watch those polls, ready to go, you know, in 2022 or 2021, whenever that happens, pass.
Great. And we can, yeah, so, you know, we can put that in as a short-term objective if you like next month. These are some things on voter suppression and voter access, why I feel it's something that we want to do. Basically, but broadly, you know, if we can't vote, what kind of democracy do we have, right? For instance, in Georgia this year, which is quite remarkable, they purged 198,000 voters from the voting rolls. And still, the Georgia voters were successful in getting a more progressive government. So, I mean, you know, but that's just how atrocious these things are, just to give, you know, a scale. And these other ones, you know, like felony disenfranchisement, check out Florida for that. It's really bad. Third-party ballot access suppression. Can we relate to that? I think so.
No kidding.
Yep. So I'm going to stop sharing on that, but can you reshare the agenda, Mike, please?
I'm on it.
So I guess we can call the question on that one too, unless there's any other discussion.
Hearing none. Is there consensus to adopt voter suppression as an annual goal? Hearing none. There we go.
Okay. And then we're ready for the third one.
I guess that's my cue. Although I discussed it earlier, I believe that building a coalition, building a movement to ask local government officials to adopt an anti-racist Milwaukee Green New Deal is one of the central ways that we can grow the party, find candidates, and become an actual political player in the city and greater Milwaukee area. It encompasses the most important things that face all of us, and if we continue to it also addresses we're often accused of not paying attention to local politics at the level where that impacts the most people, and so taking on a locally based Milwaukee Green New Deal with an emphasis on anti-racism gives us an opportunity to explode some of the myths that surround us that help to suppress our voters.
Greg Stack.
Greg.
I just like to support this totally. I feel that, you know, it could give us a nice chance to be more diverse as well, you know, as we pursue this in the community. So that's why I've joined this committee or this initiative, and so that's just a supporting statement. Pass.
Further discussion?
Yeah, there's nobody else on this stack. We can call the question.
The only thing I would say is I think the scope is sort of evolving, right? I mean, because it's a wide topic, but hopefully, it'll be practical so that we can, get actual accomplishments. Pass.
Yeah, and again, Mike will probably have some suggestions for us as far as short-term objectives on how to reach that goal next month, and the rest of us can come up with suggestions too for short-term objectives next month. I'd like to make a proposal before we vote on this, that because we're very close to the end of our meeting, I'm going to suggest that we all come up with some measurement ideas, and then we can debate those for next time, and put off the measurement component till next time for our annual goals, if that's okay. We aren't going to have time to do it anyway. So that's my proposal. Will you call the question, Mike?
Is without objection? Are there, first, let us adopt the anti-racist Milwaukee Green New Deal as an annual goal. Is there any blocking concerns? Anyone wish to stand aside? Hearing none. We have adopted 3 annual goals.
We just need to do Tom's annual goal yet.
Oh, right. And then let us first, let's go with Greg's proposal. Is there any discussion on Greg's proposal? Do we have consensus about Greg's procedural? Hearing none, we'll proceed that way. Number 4.
Can you restate that, Patty, for us? Tom's annual goal idea?
You can just cut and paste it out of the chat.
That is lobby our representatives to repeal the 2001 and 2002 authorization for the use of military force to the POTUS and cut the defense budget by 20%.
Thanks, Patty. There's nobody on the chat on the stack, Mike.
If there's no further discussion, the proposal is to adopt this as a 4th annual goal. Is there any blocking concerns? Is there anyone who wishes to stand aside? I believe we have consensus.
Thanks.
Great idea.
We can move on to the next item, Mike. But where are we at anyway? Oh, we only have 2 minutes left.
I will, let me give, the National Committee, there's much to be discussed. Tom already addressed the issue of Alaska. Folks can ask either of us questions about that. The National Committee also adopted a budget for 2021, so we continue to move forward. And the National Committee, several National Committee members shared statements condemning the Wednesday quote unquote insurrection in DC. And we'll try and share some of those on Facebook in the coming days. I propose that we, we'll move the discussion list again to next time, folks should get Greg items for next month's agenda.
Mhm.
And on to accomplishments.
I'll just read it quickly. Gracias to the Wisconsin Green Party Campaign School Committee volunteers, Barbara Dahlgren and Tom Rodman. Also Christopher Walker and Thomas Ward also attended. Mike McAllister, Monty Letourneau, and Tom Rodman for helping with OPA-Vote. Thomas Ward for his work on the IT committee. Bill Bryan for promoting the Alex Brower campaign. Alex Brower for successfully completing his petitioning for his school board race. Jennifer Kodrowski for her work on the Greater Milwaukee Green Party website, 3 meetings. Barbara Dahlgren for promoting Alex Brower's campaign. And does anybody have anything else that I forgot?
I did some petitioning for Alex.
Oh, was that Carrie?
That was Barb Eisenberg.
Oh, thanks, Barb.
Thanks to me.
Yeah, can you write that in there, Mike? Or make sure that Patty has it? You got it, Patty? For accomplishments? You're just probably going to put C agenda for accomplishments, right? Yeah, so can you put that in there, Mike, in the agenda?
There we go.
Great. All right. Well, I want to do the call to action, Mike.
I do not have that in front of me.
I do.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Can we put it in front of all of us?
No, I can't.
No.
But I realized today that I could do that technology for the first time. I realized, why don't you do that? So I'll just have to do it like I normally do, but I'll have it ready for next time. Call to action. We believe in alternative independent politics.
We believe in alternative independent politics
And active responsible government.
and active responsible government.
We believe in the empowering of all citizens.
We believe in the empowering of all citizens.
And communities to create the world we want.
And communities to create the world we want.
We offer hope and a call to action.
We offer hope and a call to action.
Green and growing.
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 Woo!
Thanks, George, for getting us to do that.
I will note that I actually went to the library reservation website, and they had openings for April. So there may be an opportunity to have a socially distanced in-person meeting.
Shall we ask right now if anybody wants to do that?
I know that I would not be able to attend except virtually for the in the immediate future. But I would, if people want me to, I can go ahead and schedule a second, recognizing that they may change their minds between now and then.
Yeah, thanks for being willing to keep scheduling those for us, Mike. Does anybody else want to attend an in-person meeting as opposed to attending virtually? But nobody really misses doing that all that much, huh?
Wait,
I think we also lost some people.
We're talking about
face to face.
Yeah, face to face.
No, we still have 9 people supposedly.
Barb posted, honestly, I would rather be able to see all of your faces while the mask mandates are still in effect.
Oh, good point. Patty?
That's true.
I'm looking forward to meeting in person again, but I won't be doing that in April, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, did you want to be on the stack, Tom?
Oh, sorry. I'm ambivalent about the whole thing. I think I could go either way.
Okay,
Some-
anybody else?
Just a kind of an aside, I was able to get my first vaccination shot this week with my team where I work. Yay.
Congratulations.
Yay.
I mean, yeah. And okay, so it, you know, at this point in time, like, it doesn't look like anybody's that we have enough people that want to do that to merit putting forth that effort. At least that's how I feel as co-chair.
Mhm.
That's my sense of the consensus as well. So we'll keep asking at the end of every meeting and see if, you know, and if people have a strong opinion that they want to share with Greg and I'm just going to do scheduling and outreach, but in any case, Jennifer Kondrowski pipes up too soon, and I have to drive downtown. No.
We hear you, Jennifer.
So yes, if people have opinions that they want to share as time goes on, my email box is always open.
And just so Jennifer knows, and I think the rest of us, just so we know, we would also continue doing remote, is what my understanding is. We would not stop doing remote. We would have both the remote option and the in-person option. So whatever.
For the foreseeable future.
Yeah. So, and then Tom, I put on the agenda this time and the recording, just so, you know, because sometimes people stay after the meeting and discuss.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, I will do that. I actually have to kill two things. So just trying to think through it, and I'm in the middle of chatting with somebody. So I'll probably do it in about a minute. So.
No pressure.
All right.
So thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
And congratulations
Thank
again,
you.
Greg, and all the other new and continuing officers.
Thanks for your confidence, everybody. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Glad you're on for the co-chair, Greg. Really, really great. Thank you.
Thanks, Patty. And thanks for being our secretary. Really
Yeah.
important.
You're
Thank
quite
you,
Yes.
too, Barbara.
Hi, everybody.
So
Hi.
Carrie and Patty, do you guys want to stay on at the end, and then I'll make sure the recording gets turned off?
Yeah, absolutely. But I need a quick bathroom break. Can I do
Okay.
that?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, me too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks everyone.
Take care.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Somebody's still sharing screen.
I think
Not anymore. I think we're good now.
It says host is sharing poll results.
Oh, right. So I will stop the recording.
Okay, I see you guys later.
Bye.
Later.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Walmart's parking lot, so my toes are getting cold.
Still sunny. That's good. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Stay warm. Nice to see you.
Mm-hmm.
See you, Jennifer. All right. Now I got to stop the YouTube. I'm working on that. Where do I do that? Okay. All right. Okay, this is the most important thing. I better stop. I'm stopping the YouTube stream.